What's up, everybody? My name's Danny Ferrari.
My name's Parker Immense.
We are Xlntsound, and we are back with another video / tutorial / remake. 4 more days, ladies and gents.
It's a big one, baby.
It's a big one. The quest for base, we're almost there. We're almost to our final destination of the quest, which is hopefully you purchasing Quest for Base in early access. Okay. This sound that we're doing today is a really cool sound. We can't wait to talk about it. The download is going to be in the description down below. If you guys want to sign up for the early access and get all the bonuses, that includes this project file for Inhale, Exhale. All the sounds that are actually made in all the project files are in the pack, plus tons more. 250 presets. I think 5 total project files.
Yep.
The Ultimate Vocal Chop Rack. Link is in the description. Sign up, put your email in. We're going to go ahead and send you guys a link on December 20th. Mark your calendars. That's when Quest for Base early access will go on sale. You'll be able to purchase it with all the bonuses, but there's only going to be 1,000 copies of the early access available. So make sure you guys mark your calendars for that date, 12 p.m. PST. That's right, baby. We're on point today. Make sure you guys do that. We're going to be going through some of these sounds. You guys are going to be able to kind of see what's in the pack. We're super stoked. Let's jump in the remake, dude. I don't got time to just
jump
They
in,
already
dude.
know.
You nailed it, bro.
It's great. We got
You fucking nailed it.
So, dude, this song, oh my God. This is one of the banger tracks on the album, I think.
Yep.
This
one of my favorites, for sure.
We remade like the whole thing, by the way. So a lot of people probably are thinking we're going to go through maybe these sounds, which are awesome, but we've already kind of done similar sounds like that already. Or maybe they think that we're going to go through this one, which was obviously an option thing. So sick.
Super sick, dude.
And the way that we did those is we just essentially have like 4 or 5 different types of sounds that are doing all the movements. It's not just one sound. But the sound that we're choosing today is essentially this FM bass. And let me tell you, we've been FMing all wrong again. Okay?
Completely wrong, dude.
I feel like as producers, we get stuck in these habits of how we're supposed to do things, and we just go on autopilot, and we just like sort of like, oh, FM from B, blah, 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 plus octave, blah, blah, and we just go, right?
Yep.
But working on this pack kind of taught us to go back to some of the basics, and this kind of some of the techniques that we're going to be showing you with these FM basses are kind of more classic that you don't really think about. It's like simple stuff, but we just don't do it anymore, and I don't know why, because it creates a really cool tone. This sound is, I guess you guys were super stoked. You and Kian were like, yes, we got to do this sound. I love this sound too.
My favorite one out of all of them.
It's so minimal. It's just in the background. It's just a little. It's great, right? It's like a weird FM Tommy bass, right? Of course, it happens later too. It gets like lower pitched, I think, like. Right, so we have a couple things going on with it there. But we have an initiated patch here, so we're going to go ahead and open that up and sort of figure out how this sort of sound works together, okay? It's really interesting. There is a processing rack. You don't have to do it if you're in another DAW. It's all very basic processing. But there is something specific that's happening that will help you get the right tone if you're trying to remake this sound exactly, that if you don't use some of these elements, you are not going to be able to get it. So if you're in FL, you're cool. Just copy some of the EQs and just listen to what we do when we explain it. So this sound is just... It's almost like a little frog kind of, I don't know, frog pluck thing.
Yeah, it's like a little formanty in there,
it's just in
the
background, and it's just dark. It's really nice. And like I said, we've already kind of done a couple other sounds like these for Quest for Base. All these sounds are really good, but we decided to choose this one. So let's go ahead and start off with an initiated patch. I got all the processing turned off. We're going to go ahead and start with just a saw wave like so. Let's go ahead and start it. Already sounding sick, okay? First thing we got to do is we got to get our envelope right. Got to get your envelope right, okay? A lot of bounce. The attack envelopes, we're not using LFOs anymore for envelopes. We're using envelopes, okay? And then we're going to talk about how we've been FMing all wrong. So this first envelope, attack all the way down, decay at like, what is this, 414? I think we have a macro on the decay. Yeah, I put a macro on the decay. You guys don't have to do this, but like for the longer sort of legato notes, we kind of have it automating throughout the track. Don't worry about doing that, but if you want to have it go back and forth for 8th notes or for long notes, because it's not an LFO, it's not retriggering, you have to mess with the decay in order to get that right. Sustain all the way down, release all the way down. Second envelope, it's going to be, I think it's exactly the same thing. You can, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can hold Option and you can click drag this over and it'll copy to this envelope. So like, I'll give you an example. Envelope 3 looks like that. If I take this and I just drag it to envelope 3, I hold Option, that's a little nug right there. Smoke that shit up.
Yo, you just inhaled a nug?
Yeah.
And you exhaled a fucking envelope,
right.
dude.
Thank you.
Straight up.
And you could do it with LFOs too. Very useful trick, right? Oh, I want to use this LFO. Let me just throw it over here. Bam. There it is. Ready to go. Oh, LFO 4 looks like that. I don't want that. All right, so now you got your envelope 2 set up. LFO 1 is just going to be really fast like this. Set to envelope and set to 8th notes. LFO 2 is going to be similar to that, except to have a little bit more of a swoopy down and set to 16th and set to envelope. We're going to get into that in a minute. So first, let's go ahead and make this a sine wave because in this style of music, we love sine waves. Now it doesn't sound like shit, except it just sounds like very attacky, right? So let's get some FM going right off the bat. And this is where stuff's going to really start to come together that I think is really interesting about this sound and some of the classic sounds that we forget. I forgot, like, I think it was like listening to like John Summit when we were working with a client. So we were doing these style sounds and we couldn't figure it out. But then I figured out doing this.
Yeah.
So if you do like an FM from B, right, let's go ahead and initiate oscillator B, set it to +2, also make it a sine wave, set it to 7 semitones, and set the level like here. That's going to look pretty good. This doesn't matter. Let's turn that off. Set the level to like 50%. Watch what happens. You start getting the FM sound, right? So it's like that classic.
It's a little donker. A little bit.
Right? And if you were to like just put, like if you wanted to make like a sick ass, like old school sort of tech house sort of track, you put some reverb on that bad boy.
I'm John Summit.
Yeah, it's you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
he loves those kinds.
The difference, right? The real difference between this, which is really interesting, is that we're leaving the level knob up on this sound. What a concept.
Big reveal.
What do we do always when we FM? We turn this level knob down. But adding the level knob and having a different semitone adds a really, really cool harmonic in there that really, really you can't replicate without doing it this way, and it gives it that classic tone that I just feel like we just fucking forgot. Maybe you guys have been doing this for a long time, but we've been FMing all wrong again. I know we teach you how to do stuff here. We always are like, oh, FM from B, bam, level goes down. We're not even thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
But some of those things that we're doing on sort of autopilot, try to like turn off some of those habits. It's hard to recognize.
It's very hard to when you're in the middle of it because it's a habit. You know, you're not thinking.
You don't even think about it.
Yeah.
But try to think about some of the things that you do and then start trying to like not do those things or to add different sort of things that you haven't done. And that just sort of creates something like this. Look at that nice, like,
oh,
it's
so
really nice,
dude. It's really nice.
Okay, that sounded pretty good. So really, really nice. We got a little detune unison going on right now. Just a little spread, 0.06, blend at 7s, 5s. But yeah, having this little extra level in there is very, very, very nice. Okay, so that's a good trick for you guys to be doing with. Also, messing with the semitones when you have the level up, again, will give you some really, really cool results. Now, to get this thing punchy, we got to give it some attack, okay? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, dude, get it punchy for me, dude.
So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to use this LFO. I'm going to put it on the coarse pitch of oscillator B and on the coarse pitch of oscillator A. And you're going to go ahead and make sure it goes one way so that it's unipolar or not bipolar. So you can shift option or shift whatever it is on PC, click it to go forward. You could figure it out. Set that to, I think, 19, which is 2 octaves, and this one should be 19 as well. Now we're getting a little thumper. Now we're getting a little choms. You sense a little choms?
Oh, it is a little choms, dude.
Little choms in there, right? Make sure it's set to mono. We're going to go ahead and leave that how it is. And let's go ahead and start initiating some other stuff in here. Let's go ahead and use a noise. Now, this sound specifically has like a transient on top. It sounds like it's like a tom, but we're going to filter it out, but we need more attack. So we're going to use this Icon Kick C from Attacks Miscellaneous. These are just kick samples that are come in stock in Serum.
It doesn't come from the school?
It does not come from Icon.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, you pay 30 grand and you do not get this noise sample.
You get 0 noise samples.
You have to pay 30 grand and then you have to pay another $250 to get this.
Can you rent to own?
You can rent to own this,
okay.
but not Icon Collective.
Okay, just making sure.
Oh, I got something in my eye. Fuck! Should have talked shit on Icon.
You got a fucking noise oscillator in your eye,
God.
dude.
Let me just take a quick inhale.
Nice, dude.
And
he's back. And he's back.
Okay, so pitch is going to be set to 63. Set it to one-shot mode. Turn the level all the way up. There's that little tom, little kick in there thing going on. That sounds pretty good. Let's go ahead and put some filters on it. We're going to go ahead and use a MG low-pass filter. And then we're going to go ahead and set the cutoff to 843. Resonance to 5%. Drive all the way down. Fat all the way down. Mix all the way up. Make sure both A and B are going to it. And I think we're going to put on this envelope. Envelope 2, you're going to go ahead and put on the cutoff. You're going to make sure it goes both ways. Bipolar, just like Parker. 27. Now, the reason we're not sending the noise to it is because we want that little top that sounds like a tom that's being hit, which is what is kind of a big characteristic of this sound. So that's looking good so far. Let's go ahead and now add another pitch envelope. We're going to use LFO1, and we're going to put it on the master tune. So you're going to go ahead and set that LFO1. You're going to go LFO1. Over here, you're going to set that to 28. You're going to go to master tune, global, blah, blah, blah. Set it one way. And for us, we're going to bypass it. Now we're getting a little lasery with it, you know? Now, still doesn't quite sound like it yet, but we're going to jump into the effects, and that's when everything's going to start coming together. Okay, now that we got that, let's jump into the effects. Let's hear how it sounds so far in the mix. Probably not right. Not bad.
Yeah.
Almost there.
I feel like with these kind of sounds too, I always do the master tune attack thing.
Yeah.
You know, the pitch mod.
The FM donks, you need that master tune. It's nice to add it also on the oscillator, the coarse pitch. That helps it as well. So a good little tip with that too if you're needing more. But basically we're adding a bunch of attack, and then you'll see we're going to essentially take it out later, but it's still going to have that punch that we need, because if we don't have it, we're losing that punch. So let's jump into the effects. We're going to go ahead and add some tube distortion, set it to drive to 12 and the mix to 65. And of course, some multi-band compress. All this stuff is stock. I think I might have messed with the bands a little bit, so go ahead and mess with the bands as best you can.
With the bands.
Bands. Gains at 12.6. Now, here's a really fun thing to do with filters with your EQ. Try adding sort of EQ points, like aggressive EQ points like we have here. You can kind of see like it's adding these really interesting harmonics that are coming in, and then the way to control it is another nug that you guys are just going to go ahead and need to inhale this right now. But essentially adding a sort of like peaks and stuff like that in your low pass filter with the frequency knob, like we have on the left side, is 191 and the Q at 61 and the gain at 10.9. That is adding a very, very interesting harmonic. On the right side, we're essentially making this to a low pass, but with a very, very high resonance as well. 272, Q up to 74, and gain at 0. Now let's go ahead and put some stuff on here. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the envelope 2 on the frequency knob. Go ahead and set that to 4. And then go ahead and also put it on the gain knob as well to 15. And on the right side, you're going to put on the frequency, set it to 30. And on the gain knob, you're going to set it to 16. Now, here's an important thing that's happening is that this resonance peak right here, we want that to change wherever you hit a key or notes, because that resonance peak is only going to sound good at the one note. So we add the note feature, very, very slept on feature here. Smoke this shit up. Use the note if you have a resonance peak or a filter and you want it to sound good at other different notes. You want it, otherwise it's just going to sound sort of good in that one range. Because our notes are changing, that means the frequency is changing. So let's go ahead and apply the note just a little smidge. You guys can dial this in how you see fit, but we got it set to 8. So it moves it around a little bit, which is really nice. After that, we got another low pass filter, a MG Low 6. I realized that I turned this on by accident, but this is how it sounds without it. So it should be sounding like that. Wow, 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 wow. And you could see we have the sort of decay automating for that longer legato note. Lovely. Okay, now that we got that, let's go ahead and apply our last filter, an MG Low 12. We're going to set our cutoff to 41, resonance all the way down, drive all the way down, fat all the way down, mix all the way up, and we're going to go ahead and apply our envelope 2 to the cutoff, have it go both ways, just like Parker and I, and set it to 100, because we're 100% both ways, but we prefer it one other way, and that's guys. Perfect.
I thought you were going to bring God into it.
What? No.
You're like, we only have one God.
No.
I thought you were going to get religious with it.
No.
Okay. All right.
So that's pretty much the sound so far. Like, just by itself, very resonance peaky, but again, that's because of we're going to be taking that away. You could dial that back, and this is already just a cool little FM donk. Very, very cool sort of technique using this. But now let's go ahead and jump into some processing. We got just a couple things going on here, so let's go ahead and turn on the rack. I'll go one by one and sort of show you. So it seems like a lot, but it's really not. There's not doing much. Just using a chorus to sort of widen the bass out because we have a sub underneath. Just a little bit of chorus. After that, we got a frequency shifter. This is just sort of trying to match the original tune, I think. We just fine-tuned it. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. Next, we got a little bit of multi-band dynamics. Not OTT, but some multi-band dynamics. A little less, a little more or less. 6.7 time all the way up at 100%. Now, this is where we're going to talk about taming that top end back down. We're going to add an EQ curve sort of like this, right? Essentially making a bandpass, and we're going to shelf the highs out. Now it's starting to sound like it, right? And of course, layered with a sub. The sub is kind of just doing, it's just like a basic sine wave. I think it's following the same envelope as what this is. Now we needed to add some white noise to add a little bit of ambiance, because a lot of these sounds have like a little vinyl-y texture to them. There it is, right? A really low-end white noise filter right there.
I like the lower noise, too.
Yeah.
Where it's not like a buzzsaw, you know?
Just a little girth in there.
Just a little girth.
A little girthy girth.
Yeah, some texture.
So if you guys don't have erosion, you can use texture, right? Texture is a good little white noise. Or you can do a white noise layer. Just make it a very like lower pitch white noise. But it gets that nice growl in there. And then we got a little bit of a, I don't know, it's not really a Haas effect, but a little bit of delay time on the left and right signal to give it a little bit more width. Very subtle. One more EQ to sort of shelf the highs out. We were just sort of dialing it in a little bit more because we're bringing in more high elements by adding these two. Shelved it out very nicely. Auto filter is just one part in the song where it sounds like really filtered, so that's why, just like right there, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. And then one more EQ. We're going to cut the lows out because we got a sub layer, and we're going to go ahead and boost this area. This is the main part of the sound. Kind of. Not really, actually. Yeah, it kind of darkens it up so that we're just, again, we're trying to match the sound. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. And lastly, just a little bit of room, a little bit of reverb room, right? A very, very long decay and a very, very long dry wet, but I think these are mostly throws. So in the beginning, it's, yeah, this is about what it should be, is a shorter room, a 541 and a 25 on the dry wet. Let's hear it in context. Oh. And that's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully you stop FMing wrong like we have been doing. Hopefully you take some of these techniques and make some really, really cool sounds. If you guys want to get all of these sounds, I mean, we remade this whole freaking project file.
This is such a heavy project file, dude.
Yeah, this is a big one. So, you know, we got everything from the start all the way to the end. Really, really great track. You guys want to get this project file, sign up for the early access, and see us in a couple days on December 20th, okay? 12 p.m. PST. Look in your email for that link. Purchase your copy. Be one of the 1,000. You're going to go ahead and get this project file. You're going to get all the 250 bonus serum presets. You're going to get tons of extra samples. You're going to get the ultimate vocal chop rack. And of course, our respect for you making it to the quest for bass.
Yep.
You still get like respect if you buy it. If you don't get the early access.
Yeah.
Not as much respect. Sorry. It's just the way it is. And if
you're fighting the bass dragon at the end. You know what I'm saying?
Bass dragon. Yeah. You want to fight the bass dragon, or you want to fight like the wimpy dwarves and shit that happen like
the hobbits.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna fight a hobbit.
No, we're going full drags.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like and comment if you did. Subscribe if you are new here. Support us on Patreon if you guys want to get other project files just like this and tons of cool sounds. We get tons of stuff on our Patreon. Link is also in the description. We will see you guys in the next video.
Dude, you nailed this entire video, bro. You just fucking chopped it in there, dude. Just ready.
I'm focused.
Ready and focused.
Let's play this out. Maybe
Let's play it out.
End part right here?
Yeah.
All right.
Switch up.
We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.